right, hey everybody. Welcome to Talking Smack over mac and cheese, but today it is Talking Smack over burgers. I'm Rob Nelson. I'm here. Juddy is out of town. I think he's going to join us for a bit on the live stream remotely. He'll look all cool wherever he is. So I'm with Michael Loftus. Michael, come up next to me. There you are. Michael Loftus is a comedian, a writer. You might have seen him on Fox News is The Five. He's a comedian. It's funny, supposedly. And he's written for the George Lopez show, Anger Management, and he has a new show coming out on Netflix. We're not saying when, and it's called The Crew.
Yes.
Hey, Michael, thanks for being here, man. It's good to have you.
I'm so excited. I couldn't be more excited.
How excited could you be?
I couldn't be more excited. If a solid level excitement was here, I'm not even showing up on camera. My level is.
Michael is in New York, and you can see he's doing that New York look, the gray, the COVID look. I'm in Florida doing the tan, natural look here. It's a contrast, the conservative, the independent.
Yes.
And
me hardworking, you just kind of kicking back in the sun, hoping things will be okay.
Yeah, things are okay. Michael, it's interesting because before we started, by the way, I got to just do this. You got this song stuck in my head. Can you do it for me?
No, because listen, we're gonna get zapped by copyright law. It's gonna be like $25,000. You can sing it.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. Because 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Okay, that is my rendition of what song anybody watching out there knows. Come on, it's an obvious. Meatloaf. Bad out of hell.
But I don't know the title of the song. I don't know the title of the song.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Now,
Michael, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? So how could we apply that, say, to politics? Like, 2 out of 3 for you. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. The Democrats. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. They're going to have the White House and they're going to have the House and not the Senate. Maybe that'd be 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Right? Maybe it goes towards the Supreme Court. You get 2 out of until your boy Sleepy Joe Biden tries to pack the court. If they win in Georgia, it's the end of America. That's all I'm saying.
Michael, before the show started, Michael said something. He said he was trying to get his light fixed, and he said there's more light from the left than the right. That can't be the outcome. Now, he was talking about his face here, but I think this is a political metaphor for you, Michael. More light from the left than the right can't be the case for you. You can't live with that. And right now we're getting a lot of light from the left and a lot of shade on the right.
But you know what it is? It's the light you're getting from the left is like that fake sunlight. When you get the seasonal affective disorder and the doctor's like, you need a sun lamp because there's no real sun. That's what we need. We need the real light. We need to bask in the glory of the conservative message and not this false light, this fake illumination coming.
Do you have any? And by the way, we got burgers here. Here's my burger. Let's start with some food.
Let's do that.
My burger. This is a classic 3rd pound double cheeseburger I'm going from Dairy Queen, baby.
DQ.
Look up. That's a DQ burger. And that is my style. I am like, farm kid. I like, I'm not fancy. A DQ burger, delicious.
Okay. So
soft serve ice cream. Come on.
This is a very good question here because DQ makes a very fine burger. Is that your favorite burger? If you had to choose, if you're driving down the road, do you go out of your way for a DQ burger?
No, well, it's hard to go because DQs, there aren't a lot of them. They happen to be in Florida. As a kid, I used to go to DQ a lot. I have a thing for DQ. I also used to go to A&W Root Beer.
Yeah.
Old days. And there's a custard place in Wisconsin where I grew up, an independent place, not COVID closed yet. It's called, I'm going to make COVID jokes the whole show, guys. I'm just going to do it. I can't help myself. And it's not because I think COVID isn't real. COVID's real. But we've gotten to this point where, like, you can't even say anything anymore. And it's like, at a certain point, we've got to just be able to, like, talk about it.
Yes.
But so yeah, Kilty burger. But no, DQ's good. I don't know. My favorite would be. It's definitely not like McDonald's. I can't stand McDonald's. It's between Burger King and DQ. What do you got for me, Michael? What burger you got?
I got to take that in.
Burger King?
Oh, Burger King with their fake little grill marks. It's Listen. No. McDonald's over Burger King hands down. Here's what I did.
McDonald's. DQ. Feel free to cast your votes.
I recently posted a video at my website, theloftusparty.com. There's a dude on YouTube, Guga Foods. He's got a great channel. And he said, I made this cheeseburger and it changed my life. So I posted that on theloftusparty.com. I cannot wait to make this burger. Now, I'm talking to my friends about it. I cannot wait. I love food. I especially love burgers. Very easy, but very easy to get wrong. I'm describing this burger. I'm showing people the video. They go, oh, that's a smash burger. What he's done is he's made a smash burger. So that's what I got. I got a smash burger.
Let me see that. Let me see that burger. So this is a trendy, like elite kind of burger is what you're saying.
Oh, it's not trend. It's kind of like along the lines of a Five Guy. Now here's one unwrapped. Now that's just how it came. That's just how it came. I'm taking a bite. I've never had a smash burger before in my life. I've never had one, but evidently, this is the kind of cheeseburger that changes your life. I'll let you know in about 10 seconds. Guy, it's fantastic.
Are you just saying that, or is it really that good?
It's really that good.
It is?
It's really that good. That's a fine burger.
Put us up side by side, Crafty. Let me see your burger, Michael. This is a Florida Sun DQ burger. Look at my burger looks better. Look at that. Look at the light on that. Come on.
Okay, now granted, your lighting is better, but here's what has me troubled. Rob. You went with a double. Your ratios aren't going to be right. You've got two things. I've never been a fan of the double cheeseburger. It messes up the ratios. It messes up the flavor balance.
You know what? I learned from the Democrats. 2 votes are better than 1.
Oh, shit.
So technically, half of your burger was made by a dead person.
Half of my burger is a fraud.
Hey, guys, we got Judd. He's back.
We got Juddy back? Well,
Yeah.
when he's in, we'll bring him in. So, Loftus,
There he is.
I want to start with there. Look at Judd. Look at Judd. Here's Juddy coming in. Judd is out on. Look at he's out on a campaign trail. Look, where are you, Judd? Are you in Colorado or something?
I just visited my sister, guys, and I'm here at Glenwood Springs, man, in the heartland. Unfortunately, the state is blue since I left, but I'm here back home in Colorado.
Colorado.
I don't have a hamburger, man. I don't have a hamburger. What's wrong with me?
You're canceled, Judd. You're canceled. You're off the show. You're canceled.
I get canceled a lot because I hang out with Michael Loftus.
Judd, where's your mask, man? Put your mask on.
That is, apparently, see this field that I'm in, guys. See this big field? This is now the new space distance ratio. 700 yards in America, you can go mask free. Only 700 yards in you're mask free in Colorado. Good to see you, Mike. Good to see you guys. The anti-show, and we have the great Michael Loftus.
Dude,
I love having Loftus on with us. I think this is fun.
I'm having a smash burger. It is top notch. It is top notch.
New York smash burger. That's the referral.
It's very thin, and what's great about it is because it's so thin, the way it's cooked and it's fried, and you're not gonna get a steam cook, you're gonna get a fry cook. There's a little crispness to the edge of the burger. The cheese is just melted beautifully. They got like a secret smash sauce on here. I'm loving it. 10 out of 10 stars.
All right. Smashburger got the ad. We got it, Michael. Smashburger's.
Smashburger in New York. Smashburger in New York. I just want to say I had an Impossible Burger last night in Vegas. Vegan Impossible. If you like your sodium, if you like a fake burger that tastes like a real burger, I'm a huge Impossible fan. And of course, Rob, you're a Floridian meat-eating guy.
You know
We're
what,
bro
Teddy?
in the anti-show.
You know what? I may be eating a double burger that Michael thinks half of it's, a double vote, an illegal vote. But Juddy, you eat the fake burgers, and that's like the fake news. You know what I mean? That's like the Trump crazies, thinking that somehow he really won the election. Like, that's all the same thing. It's like a replacement burger.
Oh my God, it's like going on. It's like the fake COVID policy management hoax by our government. There's so much fakeness. I am deeply fake inside. This is exciting for me. It's a fake show.
We're all fake inside. Hey, let me pick up on that, guys, because this whole thing with the shutdowns, it's really been bugging me, And again, I'm gonna start this out by being really clear to anybody watching, and for history of recording this, because we live stream, and once you do anything, it's on forever. I do not diminish how real COVID is. I do not diminish that it is a rapidly infectious disease that we don't have a vaccine for. I don't diminish that it does things to people. We're not always sure the outcome. It's a new virus. And I'm not diminishing the incredible loss of several 100,000 American lives to this disease. None of that is being diminished when I say the reality is that the majority of the population under 70, 99+%, will be fine with this virus. And we have asked hundreds of millions of people to stop their lives. And that has now been turned into a thing, guys, that is like, oh, don't compare a business to a life, as if we're just talking about like you temporarily went out of business. We are watching literally millions of lives, perhaps irreversibly destroyed.
Why would they do that?
Go ahead.
Why would they do that? Why would they have so many people locked down and we have to wear masks if the survivability rate is so good? I think what's happened, it's a rhetorical question. I think the left has created a monster and now it's running around like Frankenstein, just destroying businesses of the villagers.
But Michael, don't you think at the beginning, I give people a benefit of the doubt. I think at first they thought, and no one knew. I mean, that's what I always said about criticizing Trump. Like, no president, Obama wouldn't have done it. They all weren't sure what to do. Fauci was saying it's fine to go out. A week before, they were saying nobody go out. Like, like they at first really were scared and confused and were like, let's be safe, right? Don't you think initially it was?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We were told 15 days to flatten the curve. We're like, this is a novel virus. We don't know what's going on. Let's pull together as Americans and just everybody stay home for 15 days. We now know lockdowns don't work. Masks aren't effective. The infection rate is the same. So why in the world would they go lockdowns again? Why would they do that unless it's to inflict misery? And that's what it seems like to me. They want when Joe Biden gets into the White House, let's just say that happens. Let's say they cheat their way into the White House.
They're getting into the White House.
Then magically, mystically, I think Joe's going to go, we need a mask mandate. And then by the end of that mandate, oh, look at that. It all got better. The media will just put a different spin on it. This is all about politics and nothing else.
No, I don't think so. But I have to digress for a second. Somebody put up a burger Instagram and said Hardee's is better than DQ or Burger King. Gloria, fake news. Fake news. No. You know what? I haven't had a Hardee's burger in like 30 years. So I'm going to be honest. I'd have to do the test. I don't know
Gloria
what it even is.
Gloria Haney knows what she's talking about. And Hardee's beats the snot out of Burger King and your fake news burger, DQ, your CNN fraud burger.
Michael,
DQ, which stands for disqualified.
I knew you got one. See the comedians coming out. Michael, I don't think it's all just, I don't think they want to inflict pain on people. I think honestly, I used to think that Biden was going to get elected and everything was going to go away. And I don't think so anymore. I think they've drunk their own Kool-Aid. I mean, if you're Governor Newsom, you can't possibly think this is going to work out well for you. You are destroying your state's economy. Even the liberal supporters of you are starting to go, you've gone too far. I think they've drunk their own Kool-Aid.
Maybe they have. Certainly some people have been, I believe, drunk with power. Whitmer in Michigan, Cuomo, my God, the way they're treating Cuomo, who's responsible for the deaths of thousands of people. He's responsible for their deaths. And then they're like, you get an Emmy, buddy. Yeah. Your book is awesome. You should teach a class.
An Emmy for doing his job. But let me point something out. Let's go on Cuomo for a second, because I just saw a thing today. Lindsey Boylan, who is a self-described progressive, was a special assistant to Cuomo. She worked in the Cuomo administration for the last 7 or 8 years as various things, and then became a special assistant for economic development to the governor. And she just today put out a thing saying it's the most toxic team environment I've ever been in. And she said, everyone is deathly afraid of him, and she said she worked at Friendly's. Friendly's, by the way, maybe they have good burgers. Remember Friendly's? She said, I worked at Friendly's when I was 15, and it was a more respectful environment, which this comes on the wake of Alexis Greenwell, the left, liberal writer, coming out last week or so, writing that thing saying, that Andrew Cuomo is just such a hypocrite, and that he's such he's just a kind of horrible, self-obsessed egomaniac. And I want to point this out, Michael, because Cuomo got such a free pass. I mean, Biden got ignored because he was in the basement, but Cuomo got lauded. He got put up on pedestals. And this is what I don't trust about the media. It's like, and Chris Cuomo and Andrew Cuomo would do their little bro fest thing. And people are going to be like, oh, it's not true. I've said before, I don't know Andrew Cuomo well, but I met Andrew Cuomo. My ex-business partner who started the nonprofit political group with me worked for Andrew Cuomo as his chief of staff. So I know certain stories. But I met Andrew Cuomo at his, at Kerry Kennedy's house, the Robert Kennedy's homestead, Hickory Hill. And, the whole family was there. And, Robert Kennedy's wife, was there. And, the widow. And he was the biggest dick. He was a dick to me. He was a dick to Doug Kennedy. He was he's married to his sister. And he was a dick to Ethel Kennedy. He literally was mocking her at the dinner table, making fun of her in a cruel way, and everyone could see. And I looked at him and I was like, why are you being such a jerk? And he was like, and I was like, I just say personal experience speaks volumes. So now it's coming out, people saying he's a monster, he's horrible, he's an egomaniac, he's Trump, he's mini-me Trump. But the media gives him, sorry, I'm on a rant, but I just pissed me off.
Well,
calm down. Calm me down, Michael.
Welcome to the regular world. Now imagine that. Imagine the way you feel about Cuomo, but it's for an entire political party. Imagine waking up and looking at the news every day for the past 3.5, 4 years. Oh, if you support this guy, you're a Nazi. Oh, if you support this guy, you're a fascist and you're a white supremacist. And oh, the president is in league with the Russians. And oh, he won't disavow David Duke. Imagine seeing the kind of love, like you see the love for Chris Cuomo. Now imagine they're showing that kind of opposite, but it's hatred for Donald Trump when everything he's done has been an incredible success. We are witnessing a terrible time in this nation's history. The media dragged Joe Biden across the finish line. And it's a terrifying notion. Big tech and the media are out of control.
Yeah, I would agree with that part. I mean, I'm going to challenge you a little on the Trump stuff, but I would agree. And I've said, I think this will get everybody. If you're on the left, it will eventually come back and get you. It always does, that cancel me, censorship thought thing, you know, critical race theory to whatever you want. Think like we do, say what we do. We will silence you if you challenge if you even dare to challenge what we're saying or question it.
Yeah.
We'll eventually get everybody. It's sort of like it eats you up. It comes and gets you. You think I'm good until you're next. You know, it's like what they said about Nazi Germany. You know, it was like, well, yeah, you went after the Jews and the Catholics, but people were like, you know, eventually they're going to come after you too. Like if you know, and it's like, I think that's a truism about this kind of a thing. And I get it, Michael. Look, did you watch that video of the woman in the Pineapple Grill bar in Sherman Oaks?
Oh my goodness. I used to go to that bar.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, and I watched that video. Let me just set it up for people real quick. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. She goes out and she points out that she'd set up outdoor dining. It's in Sherman Oaks, in this big parking lot. She has tents, the whole nice thing. And she's been forced now to shut down again. And she's like, right across the street, there is a setup for a movie set.
It's in the same parking lot.
Yeah, same parking lot. You're right. And it's the same exact kind of tents, but they're allowed to be open because, shockingly, COVID doesn't get movies. In the shutdown orders for LA, Garcetti made an exception for media and music production, which would technically mean I have the exception when I'm in LA, but I don't want it. It's a joke. It's like media and movie productions can be open. Everybody else can't. So she's literally going back and forth with the camera going, they're open and safe. I'm literally 50 feet away. I'm not. And she starts crying. She's like, I've lost everything. She's like, I am losing everything. And I'm sick of the fact that we keep saying you can't look at the human cost of what these shutdowns are doing, that somehow, again, it's just a business. We are destroying people's lives, destroying them, millions of lives, kids who are going hungry, you know, people who are committing suicide, drugs, alcohol, abuse, businesses going out of business, people losing their homes. This is a massive, massive, massive destruction to millions of people. And that should be counted equally when we look at the several 100,000 who've died. I'm not saying dismiss that, but we got to stop making it like it has to be one or the other.
Well, this is the problem with socialism, and this little whole COVID-19 lockdown is an experiment in socialism.
You think that's what it is, Michael?
When the government says, here's the list of essential businesses that can stay open, everyone else has to stay closed. When the government starts making decisions, you can do business, you can't.
Right.
That's socialism.
Right.
When the government says, we are making the decision for the greater good, you with your 25-person restaurant, you must be closed because this tube that flies through the air with 200 people on it, that needs to go. It's crazy. It's insane. I can't believe it. Saddens me that it's gotten this far. It saddens me for America.
Why aren't more people? I don't understand why more people aren't pushing back in places like California. I really don't. I mean, people who are genuinely going, we've gone too far. You know, look, I loved it, by the way. You saw the sheriffs, all the sheriffs, Orange County, you know, Riverside County, LA County, you know, all coming out and saying we won't enforce these orders. And the sheriff in Riverside did a whole thing with his sheriff thing behind him. And he basically was like, Governor Newsom's acting like a dictator. He's like, this is not accurate. This is not based on science. I will not enforce this. People be safe, social distance, wear your masks, have a happy holiday. I mean, they're literally saying we're not going to enforce it. So I don't know why people aren't like, I'm not closing my doors, because the sheriffs have all just said, we ain't sending anybody to ticket you or arrest you in LA, in California, not in New York.
Because you'll lose everything. You'll lose everything. And this is what makes it scary for the.
Why won't they just stay open?
They'll take your liquor license.
You mean they don't need the police to do it?
Right. But like, if you're like a little gift shop, yes, go ahead and be open. They'll go, oh, we're going to fine you. We're going to fine you. And then hopefully you can do a GoFundMe. But if you're a bar or a restaurant, they'll take your liquor license, man, and you will never get it back. You will never get it back. These bar owners are insanely brave. There was a bar owner on Staten Island.
Yeah.
And now, of course, a block away, there's another bar. It's in a different zone because the high and mighty Bill de Blasio determined, oh, that side is safe, but this side is unsafe. Once the government starts making those decisions, you can't say, listen, it's our country. Everybody, we're all created equal. No one is better than the other. No one is essential and no one is non-essential.
Right. And look, I want to pick up on that Staten Island thing for people who don't know. And thanks, Miss Congeniality. Yeah, for saying that. Yeah, because again, the juxtaposition of those two. I really think that the Staten Island is a perfectly good example. If you didn't follow this, what Michael was just saying, they literally drew a line across a block. And one side is the more Democratic side, and one side is the more Republican side. That is not a joke. They drew it down, gerrymandered like a district. And the side literally that's yellow versus orange. And it's like across the street, you can go drinking. On this side of the street, you can't. I don't know how anybody can possibly look at that and go, that makes sense. It's like you can pee in one end of the pool only, folks. We want to keep the pool clean. Pee only on the right side. Pee only on the right. Only in the shallow end, please.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the problem. When you tamp down on small business owners, usually that's going to be a small government kind of guy. They're going to be a Republican. They're going to be conservative. And we're like, well, it's the rule of law. We must respect the rule of law. And when you don't push back, and you don't push back en masse, they trample all over you. They'll tamp down the lone person. What we need every small business owner to open up. We need a giant wave of, we're not doing this anymore. We're not doing this anymore. Because say what you want about Black Lives Matter, but they run around setting buildings on fire. They go around looting, setting businesses, buildings on fire because they want the police to be defunded. Well, guess what? Police are being defunded. Yeah. They're getting what they want.
I think it's a great point. The right, listen, and I'm not on the right. I'm going to get to you in a second about your Trump fantasies. But you are so right, Michael, that the left understood the power of protest. They understood if enough of you do it, and if enough businesses just said no, what are they going to do? Take everyone's license?
Yes.
I mean, literally, people just like, no, we will not. And I think too many people are like, I don't want to take a risk. I don't want to shake the boat. I don't want to come out and say it. But it's like you're getting screwed. So at a certain point, Michael, your point, people better start taking to the streets. I mean, I'm proud of the fact that, I follow my own judgment. And people go, no, you can't. You have to make your own decisions right now. You have to look at all the facts and decide what makes sense. And if you want to decide you should stay locked down, that's your choice, and I'm more power to you, But if you go a different way, you got to be thinking, this is my life. And if we all just sit back, we're all going to get screwed.
Well, that's just how flipped we've become as a country. I had this moment of clarity the other night. Everybody's so worried about, will I get in trouble with the government? No. You have to protect yourself. The government is here to protect your individual rights. Mm-hmm. They're not here to tell you, you're not allowed to. No, you have rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of some serious happiness. You have to do that. And the government is supposed to protect those, not tell you can't be in business.
Right. Well, so, Michael, I agree with you. We agree on this,
Yes.
Aren't you a comedian? Aren't you supposed to say something funny to make me not seem so fucking serious?
You just did it. You just lightened up the whole mood. I giggle a little every time I watch you eat a bite of your disqualified burger. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I met him. You met Meatloaf? Here's a little Meatloaf story.
Okay.
So back in the day, I opened up I was the opening act for Todd Rundgren. It was horrible.
I love Todd Rundgren.
This was a horrible night. This was a horrible night for yours truly. A horrible night. So then I got invited to, I don't know why, but I got invited to be the opening act for Meatloaf. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. So right before I go on stage, Meatloaf's manager comes up to me and he goes, okay, just do like 15 minutes, keep it clean, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the show, as you walk off stage, there's a chance that you will see Mr. Loaf. You are not to call him Meat. You are referred to him as Mr. Loaf. Under no circumstances call him Meat. And I'm like, are you kidding? And he's like, no. If he wants you to call him Meat, he will invite you to call him Meat. I'm like, this is the craziest thing. So I go out and do my show. It goes really well. It was so great. It was so much fun. And so I'm walking off stage, and I go by the wing, and here comes Meatloaf, and I go, hey,
Mr. Meat to you, Mr. Loaf. Sorry.
I go, hey, have a great show, Meat. he goes, thanks, man. He was the coolest dude. It's the manager. It was the middleman who was trying to make things go south.
All right,
Meat.
Meat. We're gonna do Talking Smack over Meatloaf and get Meatloaf on. Find out what happened to Meatloaf. You know, by the way, Todd Rundgren, for you guys out there, Todd Rundgren. So I don't know if you got to be old enough to know Todd Rundgren's songs. Remember, he was a singer, but he was actually more famous as a producer. He produced that Bat Out of Hell album was one of the best-selling albums of all time. Todd Rundgren actually became a really great music producer. He produced all kinds of really well-known, like late 70s, early 80s bands. And, you know, like that really, he's the part of the magic of Meatloaf.
So here's what Todd Rundgren did. This was after I Want to Bang on the Drum All Day. And
Is that what you want to do? You want to bang on the drum all day? It sounds like a terrible.
I really do.
Comment.
I really do.
Like some weird sexual thing, Michael. Masturbation.
Oh, it's not masturbation. It's about backdoor love. It's about.
Hey, you just went there. You and Judd and the gay jokes. I mean, what do you got against gay people?
There's nothing gay about it. A man and a woman can't enjoy beautiful butt stuff. Come on. Well, now it's interesting that you think only gay people do this.
I set myself up for that. I really did. I saw it coming the minute I said it. I was like, I'm totally gonna get rammed on this one. No pun intended.
So you said you saw it coming, and you're gonna get rammed. Here, I want to talk about.
Can I tell you what Sean Hannity said to me? Since I'm just dropping names and people.
I love your eyes. Is that what he said?
No, he said, Rob, if I was gay, I'd have sex with you. But I'm not.
That's nice. That's nice.
I love Sean Hannity. I still do. Think he's awesome. I love that he sticks to what he is. I know people hate him because they whatever. He doesn't pretend he's objective. He's on a mission. I like that, If people on the left, like if Chris Cuomo would do the same thing and stop pretending he's an objective journalist, I'd be a lot happier with it.
But that's but Rob, you just described all of journalism. And this is the wonderful, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be insanely frustrating to watch it happen. But for the past 4 years, you have these, I'm just an objective journalist. And I got to call out the president. It's my job to question these things. Right. And boy, they're already getting their beds ready. They're fluffing their pillows to take a giant 4-year nap for Joe Biden. Isn't he great? Isn't he just so awesome?
Michael, let me go somewhere with Trump, because this is a genuine question I have about people on the right. And Judd was here. I think he got lost in the fields because his connection went away. But it was nice to see him for a minute. But I've had this conversation with Juddy and other conservatives. I feel like everybody's saying the election was rigged, the election was stolen, and I think there was fraud. I've said that. I think there's fraud in every single presidential election. So there's no question there was fraud. But if the election was stolen, you got to be able to prove it. And if you can't prove it, then maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. And yet so many conservatives, Michael, I know, say, nope, if it was stolen and if we can't prove it, it's just because the left and the media won't let us prove it. Where do you go with that? Because again, I'm okay saying, and Trump's making wild claims all the time. And he's doing just what the left does. He's getting everybody riled up on something they're not proving. And this is what the left did with impeachment and with Trump. When they couldn't prove it after millions of dollars in time, they just said, no, it's still true. We just, you guys just won't let us prove it. And I was like, what do you mean we'll let you prove it? You tried.
But hold on, Rob, we did. We were like, oh, let's appoint a special counsel. We'll have the Mueller probe.
I'm agreeing with you. No, I'm agreeing. I'm saying when the left tried to do it, when it wasn't proven, instead of going, my friends on the left didn't go, oh, you're right. They went, no, he still did it. I'm like, you just spent millions of dollars and tried to prove it and you couldn't. Quit. And they were like, no. And I feel like the right's doing the same thing, going, no, it was stolen. It was definitely stolen. And I'm like, well, then prove it.
Well, now you have the media saying these are baseless accusations. These are baseless. They're baseless accusations. We must move on. We need to heal as a nation. We need to heal and move on. Well, Sidney Powell, has a stack of affidavits. She has a stack of sworn witness testimony that they signed under penalty of perjury, that they saw tons and tons of irregularities and things they shouldn't be seeing. We need to investigate those. And also, Sidney Powell, they just got their hands on some Dominion voting machines from Michigan. And I want to find out how those Dominion voting machines work. I want to find out where these USB drives are going. I want to find out if they were hooked up to the internet. None of this is baseless, and it all needs to be investigated.
I didn't say it's baseless or shouldn't be investigated. I'm saying they are running out of time, and they really need to, kind of show the proof, or they're not going to win the case. And I'm simply saying, if they can't win the case, Jimmy Stock, the left had 3 years to try. The Republicans have 6 weeks. I know that's not completely fair, but I'm just saying, at what point do you have to go? Do you not acknowledge that Trump, to some extent, is just winding people up? Come on, Michael. He's winding people up. He's winding people up because Trump can't lose. He doesn't like to lose. So if he loses clean, he doesn't have anything. If he claims it was a completely rigged, stolen thing, 100%, he's got the base to go back in on January 20th and announce his bid for 2024. He's no dummy.
Well, this is a good hill to die on. This is a good hill to die on, because you know who benefits from this? You know who benefits from this outrage? All of America. 67% of Republicans, and that number might even be higher, think that this election was rigged, or there was fraud, something wasn't right. And I think it's like 37 or 40% of Democrats think that there was some kind of fraud. So you have a big hunk of Americans. This isn't good. These voting machines, listen, if they're all on the up and up, it can't even smell bad. It can't even look bad.
I
we
agree.
cannot lose faith in our elections.
I agree with you, Michael. I agree with you. And all I'm saying is, and there was fraud. Of course there was fraud. I've said before, there always is fraud, and there was more fraud this time because you had mail-in ballots. It was a recipe for fraud. And I believe the Democrats knew that they would get more ballots and knew there would be fraud. Even if they didn't orchestrate it, they knew mail-in ballots would lead to that. They're not dummies, right?
Exactly.
But I think Trump knows that this election was not actually stolen in an orchestrated way, that they didn't literally change voting machine numbers and move 50,000 votes. I think he knows that. And I think he's just not gaslighting, whatever. He's just doing it to get people to think the election was fraudulent, so that they will be angry, so they will vote for him again. Do you think that's a crazy notion? You totally disagree with that?
It's not crazy. I disagree with it. I can see what is it within the realm of possibilities? Yes, it is. Here's what I really think. I think there's a very good chance these Dominion voting machines were hooked up to the internet. There are white hat hackers who say they have the data packets that can prove information was going overseas. That ain't good. I think mail-in voting is the easiest kind of fraud to perpetrate.
Right.
We have to look into all of this. It's not good. And I'm kind of up on a soapbox here myself, but for the sake of our republic, here's what I want. I want the thing where you dip your thumb in the purple dye and you go, I voted. That's
right.
what I want. One person, one vote.
So here's my thing. Cruzen has a comment up there. Things you don't understand must be a conspiracy. First, I don't think anything you don't understand has to be a conspiracy. But I also think when people say things are conspiracies, that it assumes it like disqualifies them. Sometimes conspiracies are true. Sometimes they're not. We're both nuts. Fraud in the election is a given ? I'm going to take this up again. I said this on my show last week. Fraud happens in every election. We historically see it. There's always fraud. There's famous cases of fraud. Kennedy in 1960, Nixon trying, with the DNC, goes back to 1876 and Ruther B. Hayes. Like, there's always been fraud. So I don't know why people keep saying fraud is a given. It is a given. How much? How provable? Different thing. And the impeachment wasn't proven. The impeachment may have been proven, but my point was the Russian collusion wasn't proven. It was actually not proven, and Mueller couldn't find it. And now evidence that we are seeing from, unredacted and, information, emails and stuff that's being released by the, head of national intelligence, showing that the FBI didn't really think there was, and that Hillary wanted them to use it as a diversion. That's all not crazy. That's fact. So all I'm saying scares me, Michael, is both sides do this. The left will do that and say, you know what? Everything we said about Trump is true, and everything you guys are saying is crazy. And the right will say everything you said about Trump is false, and we're right about the election being stolen. How do we get anywhere if both sides just completely insist the other side's version of reality is false when it's convenient to them?
Well, you have to balance out the scales, and I think the scales are being balanced. Here's the thing with the left: when they make these baseless accusations, they flood the airwaves with it. Oh, and it's such a noble endeavor, and we're saving the Constitution. Adam Schiff had a whistleblower for the impeachment, and whistleblowers must be respected, and they're the most noble of us all, and they must be listened to. We must listen to the whistleblower. They're so brave. And then Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell come up with with just whistleblower after whistleblower after whistleblower after whistleblower, and then the media is like, these are baseless. There's fraud in every election. What are we talking about?
No, okay. So what I'm saying is, you're kind of proving my point. We're essentially screwed because you're never going to stop saying that it's been unfair for 4 years, and now we get our chance. And you're not going to acknowledge that maybe Trump's gaslighting people or whatever. And the left's not going to acknowledge that there's any basis for fraud, and that they were ever anything, that Trump did everything they said he did, even if it's not proven. So if both sides do that, we're just going down a deep divide, right? So we're screwed, right? Like, let's just throw it up in the air.
There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is light at the end of the tunnel. CNN, hopefully their ratings will keep diminishing. There was just a great independent journalist that had a series of set in on a series of phone calls, recorded the conversations, and CNN is now out, and they are just purely a propaganda organization. Hopefully legacy media will start to die. Okay, and independent journalists will start to rise to the top.
I am for that. I am for legacy media dying. I have been for a long time, way before this, way before Trump was president. I was part of legacy media. I had a show on Fox News, and I just, for the record, want people to know, Roger Ailes, who started Fox News, never once told me what to say. And I said a ton of things I was pretty liberal. And, I said a ton of stuff that they all hated. And he was like, you're full of crap, but you can say what you want. It's your show. But that said, even they're all now Fox News, they've all become the same thing, and it's just different sides of the same coin. And I agree with you 100% about that, Michael, that we need independent, we need alternate media sources, and we're going to need to figure out a way around the fact that social media platforms are choosing who to censor, which is dangerous. But I wanted you to address, before we go, Monkey Arms. Monkey Arms just had a comment up there, and it was a question for you, Michael. None of Giuliani's whistleblowers hold any position of accredited power. And she said, what's the court's records? So her point being, you're losing in court, and the whistleblower. And I'm not saying there isn't fraud, but enough to turn this election seems far-fetched to me.
Well, I don't think it's far-fetched. And with losing in the lower courts in Pennsylvania, that's all wonderful. That can't happen fast enough. Let's get it to the Supreme Court. When people are changing election laws in Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and the legislature doesn't sign off on it, is that legal? You have to have a real argument about that.
No,
you just can't change election law and not have everybody vote on it.
And they will probably, the Supreme Court would probably rule that was unconstitutional to change that. The governor did not have the power to do that, and they might invalidate those votes. But I don't think enough is going to turn, Michael. And my point is, if the Supreme Court and the Republican state legislatures, which are controlled in most of these swing states, don't move to either try to switch their electors, force them to vote differently, which would go to the Supreme Court too, because it's never been tested, or, if the Supreme Court doesn't rule, at that point, do you go, okay, maybe it's not there? Or are you going to do what the left does and go, you know what, the courts and the legislature are just all in the pockets of something? Well, at some point, do you go, maybe it's not what we thought?
In that eventuality, like, listen, and this is the big difference. This is like with the lockdowns. With the lockdowns, I'm a rule of law guy. I'm a rule of law guy until you reach a point. When Obama got elected, I didn't go freaking out and running through the streets with my hair on fire going, he's not my president. I continued on with my life.
Right.
Am I willing to suffer through a Joe Biden presidency? Yeah, that's what it is. What terrifies me is the notion of the lack of scrutiny on this guy. I really think there's some bad bag of things on Hunter Biden's laptop with some inappropriate dealings that Biden had with Ukraine and with China. And listen, Joe Biden was the guy in the Oval Office meeting when they were talking about how to set up General Flynn. Joe Biden was the guy who's like, maybe we could use the Logan Act. So he's in cahoots. He is the swamp, and he's not in control. I don't want to see us lose Georgia, meaning the Republicans, and all of a sudden you've got a Democratic House, Democratic Senate, and the puppet of Sleepy Joe in the White House. Boy, they can just do whatever they want. Then we lose the country. Then you got D.C. and Puerto Rico are all of a sudden states, and we're going to pack the Supreme Court. Can you believe it, Rob, that when they asked Joe Biden, are you going to pack the Supreme Court? He never answered the question.
I know, and they might try to do it. Look, and my concern is we're just going to keep spiraling down. I don't think Monkey Arms is having a problem with you. But Monkey Arms, to what I do want to say is it's interesting. Jake, again, don't just dismiss this stuff because the media dismissed it. I mean, even Jake Tapper now suddenly is sort of willing to look in. They would have been more willing to look into the Hunter Biden stuff if Biden wasn't the nominee against Trump. If this had come out during the primary, no COVID, and Bernie and Biden were running head to head, I don't think the media would have not looked at Hunter Biden. Again,
now hold on a second. The FBI had that laptop for almost a year and did nothing. It was only because the FBI did nothing for that length of time did that laptop repair guy reach out to Rudy Giuliani. Now, don't you think that's a problem?
Listen, I get both sides of this, and maybe I'm too much the Libra seeing both sides. I get that it may or may not be on that laptop what is incriminating. What bothers me from the left on this is just dismissing it out of hand. As a crazy accusation. It was a legitimate accusation. It was a business partner, granted, a business partner who had, no longer, so you could say he had a grudge or something, but he had actual stuff on a computer that the FBI investigated. And that alone is newsworthy. To whether it's true that it really is what he said, the FBI actually investigated it. So it certainly deserves to be reported, especially when Brett Kavanaugh running, being nominated, the media ran with, I'm talking about Dr. Ford's accusation, the Michael Avenatti accusations of his clients that he was doing gang rapes. They ran with that, like completely unsubstantiated allegations. Somebody saying he was gang raping people. And now we know the lawyer himself was like, Avenatti was all corrupt. They ran with that, but they don't even run with the story that Hunter Biden's, it's not about whether it's true, just the story itself. And that's where I just think we're in trouble, because we just dismiss it out of hand. But Michael,
I'm just glad that people in Afghanistani caves have access to the internet, because Krugson here says, "Oh dear Lord, the computer, you're spouting so much Russian disinformation. Nice job." Well, since you get internet in your cave there, Krugson, maybe look up and see if the national intelligence thought that it was Russian disinformation, because they came out months ago saying that it's not Russian disinformation. But way to go. Enjoy the Kool-Aid in your cave.
Okay. See now, Michael, when you go after listeners, you don't really get them to listen to your point of view. I'm just saying, when you attack
I'm going to go after them all. Monkey arms. Because you know why the FBI did nothing? Because there's nothing there. You know what, Monkey arms? They opened up an investigation into money laundering. Do you not have the internet in your cave?
Okay, you guys, I'm sorry Michael's putting you on caves, but
Hey, you know what, Rob? YouTube is heating up. Let him just go. Mike, just keep going. Mike, just keep going.
I love it. He's saying, say Benghazi. Just scream Benghazi. Okay, I will. Benghazi. Look, point of this is I want this dialogue. I like it going back and forth, and you guys don't get hostile with each other,
Rob.
Okay, listen, Monkey, I got to say, I think Monkey Arms really tries to be balanced in this stuff. I appreciate that, Monkey Arms. I know you're coming from the left, but I appreciate you do seem to try to be balanced. And I just want things to be a little balanced, because I think I'm back to my notion. You cut the boat in half, the whole boat sinks, everybody drowns. We all lose if we cut the boat in half. And I know people say, well, that's what Democrats have been doing. Well, it doesn't help if now Republicans do it. At some point, we're just going to sink the whole ship and we all going to pay the price.
Well, that's what's I think will happen. Like a friend of mine on Facebook today was like, do you think there'll be a civil war? And I'm like, dude, I think the Civil War already started.
Right.
I think it already started, but it's an economic civil war. And that's why these big businesses are leaving these failed states like California and New York. Tesla's going to leave California. Hewlett-Packard's going to leave California.
It's a cultural and it's an economic civil war. It's not going to be a violent civil war. People get some people going to head out with guns. They're not. I love that you guys are going back and forth. Carla, I can't even pronounce it.
Dahlquist.
And Bretson Dahlquist, calling Krugson out, saying there's no crap on the computer. Come on, I've already seen enough to take out several people. And again, this is where I get frustrated, Michael. We've got a narrative right now of two sides, both of whom see completely different realities. And whichever side you're on, I'm just saying, one side says there was nothing there on Hunter Biden's laptop. It was all made up. The other side says it is there. That's why the FBI investigated. Flip it around to Trump, and the impeachment or the Russia thing. One side says he did something really bad. We have the evidence. The other side says he didn't. And it doesn't really matter what gets proven or not proven. Both sides just say when it's them, it's when it's in their favor, it's there. And when it's not, it's not. And that's my concern.
It is my concern. And then when you compare the two and Trump had a conversation with a Ukrainian guy and it's the worst thing ever. And then the White House goes, well, here's a transcript of the conversation, but still it's impeachable. All right. So that's that. And then you take out Hunter's laptop and there's like tons of emails. There's pictures, there's drug abuse, there's sex. Then you get this, a business associate, Tony Bobulinski, who was on Tucker Carlson. He's got emails, text messages, all kinds of proof. And people are like, there's nothing there. There's nothing there.
Michael, what I'm saying is, you guys on the right see it as there was nothing there when it was our guy. There's something there when it's the other guy. And the people on the left say there's nothing there when it's our guy. There's something there when it's not our guy or girl. And that's all I'm saying. And that's what concerns me. And you could go, well, we're right. But they go, well, we're right. So my point is, we're living in two totally alternate realities. They're completely alternate realities.
But there's a big exception.
Donald Trump becomes president. Hillary Clinton says he's an illegitimate president, the candidate running against him. Joe Biden gets elected president. Donald Trump says it's an illegitimate election. And, both sides go crazy when the other one did it. And nobody goes, my God, you're all doing the same thing. Hillary called him illegitimate. He's calling Biden illegitimate. You both did it.
Right. The big difference is the media will back one side and not the other.
The media is more left than not. So the right needs to create its own alternate media. I'll be honest. I'm sort of tired of hearing everybody just say it's the media's. I hate what the media does. But then the right needs to come up with alternative media outlets that are powerful. And Fox News gets more viewers than CNN and MSNBC combined.
Well, that will happen, and that's what we're talking about earlier with the end of legacy media. You've got great independent journalists. You've got Cheryl Atkinson, who's doing great work. You've got Tim Pool, who's doing great stuff. You can always find great stories at theloftusparty.com as well.
We Michael, can we make some fun? Can we have some fun before we end?
Of course.
I got so serious. Look at my little burger. There's hardly anything left in my burger.
Yeah, it's a nothing burger.
It's a nothing burger. It's almost a nothing burger. You guys, I love all your comments.
Hey, Rob, it's heating up, by the way. It's starting to catch up.
Well, we're running out of time. I hope you went and got, thanks, Crafty. I hope you guys went and got a burger. But the whole point of this is we can argue, we can disagree. That's healthy. That's what's cool about America. And it's starting to slide away, our ability to disagree and argue. I love this. We're bringing food into it just because food kind of helps unite us. So, I like when people just call us out or call me out. That's the whole point. Hunter Biden's laptop burger. We're going to have a laptop burger. Monkey Arms wins the award. The laptop burger. Michael,
that's a good one, Monkey.
Here's what we need.
We're going to wrap up. What do you got for me?
People need to go to jail. When people break the law.
Okay, I volunteer. I'll go.
Okay, that's great.
No, people are in jail. They're in COVID jail.
I'm talking about when people break the law, they need to go to jail. Earlier, we were talking about Brett Kavanaugh, and Michael Avenatti would trot out these women, and they just lied. They lied under perjury. They need to go to jail. When someone swears an oath and they testify in front of Congress and they lie, they need to go to jail. John Brennan, who's like, oh, the CIA would never spy on citizens. We would never collect that data from just normal and he was lying. He was lying. Right. People need to go to jail on either side, right, left. If you're lying, if you break the law, you have to get in trouble.
I agree. And a last thought here, Cruzen had a comment up. Flynn, okay, I want to address Flynn real quick. Flynn did not. This is the frustrating thing with the Flynn thing. Flynn didn't really break the law any more than Bill Clinton did. Bill Clinton lied under oath, which is a stupid, predicate to impeach him. He lied about whether he had sex with somebody. That's what they impeached Bill Clinton on, lying, perjuring himself, saying I didn't have sex with anyone. Who cares? It was a political tool by the Republicans to take him down. I was in the White House at the time. They all knew it. They were pissed at the president for lying because they're like, you just got yourself impeachable stuff. You should have just said nothing or told the truth. But it wasn't a lie worth impeaching him over. But Flynn did the same thing. Flynn lied about a contact with the Russian foreign minister that he had every right to have. He didn't violate the Logan Act. They went and said there was nothing wrong with what he did. And you even read the tracking. They were going in to see if they could get him to lie about something, knowing he hadn't done anything wrong. So again, she should go to jail for lying about something that he had every right to do. And whether he knew he was lying or didn't isn't the point. He hadn't done anything wrong, and they knew that. Same with Clinton. So again, that's my answer on the Flynn thing.
Well, hold on. This makes a beautiful point, because when the FBI went in with an agenda, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to get him just to lie? Do you want him to get fired? Do you want him to go to jail? So some career FBI guys had an agenda, and they went out to get him, and it almost worked. He was defended by Sidney Powell, and Sidney Powell said it was the deep state. The deep state went after Michael Flynn, and everybody made fun of her, and she was right. And now she's saying the election was stolen. I can prove it, and everybody's making fun of her again.
Michael, hold on. Let's stick to our comments for a second, though. Monkey Arm saying, flying to the FBI is a federal crime. Yes, it is, but so is entrapment. And they entrapped him, and they admitted they did. So sometimes you got to look past the letter of it. Bill Clinton committed a crime too. He lied under oath. That is a crime. And he was impeached for that. And that was stupid. Bill Clinton should never have been impeached for telling a lie about whether he had sex with somebody. And they got him, intentionally, and they used a political wedge to get him. And that's the same thing that happened to Michael Flynn. Yes, technically he lied to the FBI. Whether he knew he was or not, maybe he didn't remember, but they knew that what he had done was okay, and they tripped him up. And as for the Cruzen comment that he pled guilty twice, any liberal out there should know, when you're under enough pressure and they threaten your family or they just make your life miserable, you might well just lie. I had a guy on my talk show on Fox who admitted to committing murder and went to prison for life. He got out 40 years later, came on my show that week. And I said, why did you plead guilty if you didn't commit the murder? Because he didn't. The DNA evidence showed it. And he said, they just kept beating me down and threatening me with worse stuff and saying if I didn't, I'd get the death penalty and they'd convict me. And so I said, I did it. And I'm like, you said you killed someone and you're going to go to jail for decades. He's like, yep. So yeah, I don't think somebody, it's clear they went hard on him and left people on the left. Courts, lawyers, FBI, they'll squeeze you and they'll make you're better off to plead guilty and you'll get 6 months than we'll make your life miserable.
And Rob, who was behind that? It was Obama and it was Joe Biden. It was Joe Biden who said, let's go after Flynn. Maybe we can use the Logan Act. And we just elected that guy president, a guy who wants to weaponize the government against his own citizens.
Well, okay, but here again, this is why I'm on both sides. Trump weaponized the government too. And it's funny because you guys out there on the left seem to only hear the things I say that are negative to the left.
Whoa.
Trump weaponized the government. Trump weaponizes everything. Trump is the weaponizer in chief. I mean, you just say the wrong thing and Trump will bring you down. Come on. Trump weaponizes everything.
I'm going to need specifics. I'm going to need specifics, bud.
How's he weaponized the government?
Against its own citizens, yeah.
Well, not literally necessarily in the no. I meant weaponizing it against people who work for him, weaponizing it against agencies. You know, I mean, he goes after anything he can. And by the way, what president hasn't? I mean,
wait a minute, crazy man. How that nothing burger must have been delicious because it's gone to your head. You keep making these grand statements and you can't back them up with one single fact.
You know what? It's interesting. Who does that remind me of? Oh, Trump.
Hugh Hefner.
Trump making giant statements that you can't back up.
Wait a minute.
Oh, come on.
Wait a minute.
You're not going to tell me you don't think Trump makes things up that he can't back up.
No.
You don't think Trump makes things up?
What is he made up?
Michael, we need a whole nother show for this.
When he thought COVID was going to end earlier this year.
Well, that's nothing. COVID ending is nothing. I mean, literally, everything is the greatest ever it's been. Greatest economy, greatest economy. Actually did have a good economy. I'll give him that one. But literally everything Trump says is, it is the best, the biggest, the best one we've ever had. You know, he just says whatever he has to say. Yes, he.
Well, that's just a guy being from New York.
Michael, you can't possibly expect anyone to take you serious when you say Trump. Trump knows he lies. Melania must tell him every night. Jesus, how many more lies are you going to tell?
Listen, we have the greatest economy ever. We had the greatest comeback ever. We had the lowest unemployment ever. Many of those are true statements.
No, I acknowledge I used a bad example of saying the economy. I was making fun of how he's like, you know, everything is the greatest thing it's ever been. Like, you know, everything is perfect. Everything is, you know, I did it, you know, I get credit for it. He even said, I got the vaccine. He never gives credit for anything outside himself. And if you cross him, I'm just saying, why do you got to put Trump on a pedestal? Trump did some great things, accomplished some great things, but in many ways, he's a terribly divisive president.
He's not God. He's not perfect.
Wow. Hey, Crafty, slow down there. Listen, no one's putting Trump on a pedestal. No one's saying he's God or he's perfect, but he's definitely the best president that we've had in ages. And he's shown that we do have a very, very big problem in the federal government.
I agree with you.
And government agencies were weaponized against private citizens.
Yes, that's true.
That's no good.
That, Michael, 100% true about that. And again, 100%. They weaponized the agencies against private individuals, against his campaign. It's a bad precedent. And yes, I agree with you. I love that he's challenged every institution. I said from the beginning, I love that he's a bull in the china shop, you know, but that doesn't mean he doesn't do a lot of things wrong at the same time, you know?
Oh yeah. Listen, in golf, I'm a closest to the hole kind of guy. And when Trump goes, I'm going to get 90% of what I want. He can be bombastic. He can talk smack, but he's changing policies. He was getting rid of regulations. He was unleashing American ingenuity and small businesses. That guy was a shot in the arm for this country, and we're better off for him.
All right, Michael, we're way over time, man. This has been fun.
We should do it again.
Well, why don't you be? Yeah, listen. Hey, Michael, let's just knock Juddy out of this thing. Okay.
I'm going through a tunnel.
Buddy.
I'm going through a tunnel.
Just kidding, buddy. Juddy's out there. Judd abandoned us, whatever. He was on for a minute, went off in his big field in Colorado. But Michael, we should have you do this more often with us, you know?
It'd be fun.
Maybe we'll make it Talking Smack and Cheese with the three of us. I don't know. I'm up for that if Judd is, you know, but like, it's fun having you on.
I want more food talk. Listen.
I tried. I still got a bite of my burger.
Listen, I said some bad things. I said some bad, hurtful things about the Dairy Queen burger. They were all in jest. I love the DQ, but I got to try a smash burger. It was amazing. And it's a great burger.
Mike, do you have any more food to put up on screen?
I got a second one that I'm going to eat after the show.
Smash burger. Hey, you guys, thank you for watching. If you have any last comments, make them about our burgers, not about politics. Because, you know, look at what's all that's left of my little DQ double cheeseburger. Just a tiny little bite left.
And for the record, their tater tots are good. And McDonald's far superior to Burger King. I'll answer your angry emails.
Okay. All that's left of Trump's chances to win this election. But you know what? I want to be clear on the record. Trump's going to announce in January that he's going to run in 2024, and I'm psyched. I think it'll be fun when he does. I'm for that.
They better hope and pray he does. He does.
He's gonna. Come on, he ain't going away. I can't stand not being the center of attention. I do love that the media goes crazy every time he says everything. Okay, tear gas is not a food, Crafty. Can we just put food comments up? Seriously. Crafty won't stop with him. Tear gas. What? Okay, guys, this has been fun. It's been real. Crafty deserves the award. Okay, Crafty, you got an award. There you go. Crafty, you're supposed to get us out of here. You're not supposed to let us just keep talking forever.
Rob, we're on fire right now. The comments just blew up on YouTube.
Yeah, well, Rob is the best. I like it. I got a compliment. Oh, look, someone's going to get a burger. Go get your burger. Go get your burger.
Go to Smash Brothers. Go to Smash Brothers or McDonald's. Don't do that Burger King business.
You, Burger King. Go Populous. Go Real People.
No.
Is Smash Burger like the Nazi soup kitchen guy on Seinfeld? Remember that guy?
No soup for you. You're pushing your Dairy Queen Coastal Elite burger.
Hey, baby, I'm in Florida. I'm in Florida here. I ain't in no Coastal Elite. I'm in, like, people like to think Jacksonville's redneck, and it's not, but I love it. If it is, like, there's real people here.
You're in Jacksonville?
Yeah, I'm in Jacksonville.
I was born in Jacksonville, guy.
I love Jacksonville. I'm in love with this place. People are good. And people, you know what? And people, there's left and right here. There's politics. There's huge problems like every city, but people really are trying to make an effort. And I just feel like it's a lot more human than we felt in California. People just a lot more, even when they disagree, you know? And I've had some amazing, we did a town hall here, you know, which was all about race relations. And we had the left and, you know, the right and activists and the police union, and all came together. It was on the local news. It was a really powerful chance to see that people can talk through their differences and actually make progress. When the thing was over, Black Lives activists and the police union were talking for half an hour, like, you know, sorting stuff out after the thing. They were like, take a picture of us. I'm like, you guys are working stuff out. They're like, this is positive. We got to have these dialogues. So I'm in Jacksonville doing that right now, Michael.
That's great. I hear it's going to go so well that dogs and cats are going to finally call a truce.
Gloria Hainsey was born in Fernandina Beach, Florida.
Hey, Gloria Haney.
All that's left. No burger for you. Who doesn't get a burger? Crafty?
No burger for you.
Oh, no burger for you. I'm a little slow, guys. I'm a little slow. This is all that's left. This tiny little bite left of my burger.
Guys, let's just keep going. Yeah, let's just keep going.
We gotta go.
We have 20 comments to catch up on.
Well, you know what? We you know, can't make it a marathon, guys. That makes you got to come back for more. You know, I'm kidding, but no, we're gonna wrap it.
I want to go to Monkey Arms' house. Here's Monkey Arms 11. That's like Monkey Arms 11 was so bummed out because, you know, they tried Monkey Arms and they're like, that's taken. They're like, Monkey Arms 1, no. Monkey Arms 2, no. Monkey Arms 3. I love Monkey Arms 11 because you're stuck with it.
Dairy Queen 2 burgers. It doesn't work. I'm not funny, Michael. I try.
You are. You're a lovable guy. You got so much charm. I can feel it out here in New York, all the way from Jacksonville. And I'm telling you, those lights in the background, those are popping. You're looking good, brother.
And I got the palm trees behind me, but I'm working hard here. Okay. All right, you guys. So we're gonna wrap this up, because otherwise we'll just keep going forever. Because you guys, the comments are great. Crafty, no more comments, buddy. Crafty can't help himself. He's just going to try to whip them all up there, you know? So
thanks, Jimmy.
Michael, all our listeners out there, everybody watching, thank you for participating. Thank you for watching. Hey, that's okay. Monkey, see, Monkey, this dialogue will just keep going. Crafty, no more comments, please, Crafty. Trying to stop Crafty. He's like on a mission. He's just going to try to keep us on here.
It's Pavlovian. He keeps hitting the button. We keep giving him food.
Monkey arms 45, 60. All right. Okay, this is good. All right, Crafty, you are officially fired. Firing Crafty. No, I love it, you guys. It's great. We could keep going, but we're well over an hour, and we kind of need to wrap it up. But we will. The point is, come back next Sunday and come on earlier, guys. We do this at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific every Sunday. So jump on early. Start with your comments early, and we can get them all in. You know. But I love the back and forth. And you guys, I love all your back and forth. You can be hard on us. You can be tough. You can fight with each other. Points to have a dialogue. If we don't keep having a dialogue, we lose. So it's better we have the dialogue, even if we totally disagree. You don't even have to like people you're having it with, but better if you do, and better if you have a little food with it. Show me your burger, Michael. Show me your burger. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Eat that last bite. You've shown that last bite to the camera 50 times. Eat it. There you go. That's a show. That's a show.
That's a wrap.
Smash burger for the win.
Boom. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks, Michael. This was fun. See y'all later.
Traditionally, that would be the out.
That would be. That would be the out. All right. Well,